Now, important that the safety count is important not only for the quarterback, but for the halfbacks and the split ends, because it's going to determine on triple option how they attack the perimeter and how they're going to block that very important perimeter. We'll see a two high mostly out of a 4-3 or a 3-4. And here's a diagram with, oh shoot, I went ahead too far. Here's a diagram of triple with some points of emphasis at the bottom. Red is number one. He's our read key. This against a 4-3. Purple is our pitch key. And then these guys are identified as Sam, Mike, and Will. We initially want to call the play or the direction to the tighter shade. So if we know the fullback's going to insert into B gap, we want to find the open B gap. Now, that doesn't always hold true. We will run it to a B gap tackle, and I can get into that later if we have time. Play side tackle. I picked this up at Harding. Veer equals vertical. So avoid contact, get vertical, and block your cylinder or your area. So an example of that is right here. Getting this guy up vertically, not letting the mic undercut to the to blow up the fullback. But you also, as you veer, which means vertical, you got to be aware of some of these games these guys on defense are playing. Like having this kid stay and bringing that Will backer into B gap, and the quarterback giving the ball because he saw this kid stay. And now, if that tackle's on the mic, that Will is punching your fullback in the face, and that can cause some fumbles and some bad things. The switch block against the two high. That's kind of our standard block against two high safeties, although it's not etched in stone. And what we're trying to do is the split end's going to come down and safely and legally interfere with the safety. 10 years ago, you could knock that kid out, and he would be a little more cautious coming down. But now we try and teach it almost like you're guarding him in basketball. Lead with your hands, move your feet side to side, and make him go underneath. And if he comes over the top, you know he's going to make a play. And then the play side halfback takes 5 steps and adjust what the corner is doing. If the corner's coming right now, he's going to kick him out. If the corner is not going to get reached or circled, we are going to make sure that we continue out and at some point then knock him to the sidelines. So that shows you what we're doing against a 4-3 or any type of two high safety on the perimeter. Here's a 5-2 or 3-4 with two high safeties. So we got to get the safety count. Here's 1, here's 2. We have no problem pulling and pitching off 2 guys that are on the line of scrimmage. I think it's important if you're going to run this offense and run true triple that you have the confidence in your kids to do that. I know there's some coaches that don't want to do that, and that's fine. They want to go read, block, pitch, and that's just not who we are. An important rule: if the guard is covered, okay, we do not like to tight loop to a backer. If the guard is uncovered, he may tight loop because we know that Mike backer, if he plugs or runs through, he's going to be picked up by that guard. And the footwork by this guard is incorrect. He should be stepping with his play side foot and working up. Okay. Now, there are times against a 50 that we'll double this nose to the backside B and veer release this. But that's not our basic rules against a 3-4 defense. So that kind of gives you the diagram on that, and the rules are the same out here on the perimeter. And we if the fullback gets 35 carries a game on triple, so be it. Okay. If the quarterback gets 20 carries, so be it. If the ball gets pitched 25 times, so be it. Okay, triple, 1 high safety count. I'll show you some film. Should I show it now?
Sure.
I'm going to show you some 4-3 film or 2 high film. If I can get out of the way here. And hopefully this film is clear. But here's 4-3 too high. We're running a switch block. Good job by the play side half. Keep your feet moving. Quarterback did a decent job. Halfback did not go in motion soon enough, and the ball almost ended up on the ground. But here we're reading 1 and 2. We're reading a defensive end who didn't close quick enough or did close, and the outside B is now number 2, who's the pitch. You see the backside split end, probably didn't take a great angle. Check out the scoop blocks. Then I'll show you a tight version of this, maybe. And it is important to us to get the fast kids out on the ball, out on the perimeter with the lead blocker. Here's an end zone shot. I think he did a pretty good job of reading his way through that. Halfback did a great job of picking up a bad pitch almost off the ground. So that's against a 4-3 too high. Here's 4-3 too high. We did get motion this time. The outside B stepped up, scraped a little wide. So instead of pitching, I think he still could have pitched it. But instead of pitching it, he tucked it up inside of number 2. And that's why it's so important that veer release on the cylinder by 52 here. And he takes a mic past the quarterback. His job is to just stick and stay. Good veer release, finds the mic, blocks the cylinder. Then we got the rest of the gaps covered. Here's a tight shot. Reed probably could have pitched it. Then I'll show you an end zone shot. Then I'll show you just one more so we can move on. Okay, one more clip. Deep mic. Okay, here's what I'm talking about, where they play those nasty games, where the end doesn't close and maybe the backer was supposed to fly up there. But look at number 1 here. He doesn't close, which tells our quarterback, give the ball. And the fullback does that. And we're fortunate that the backer's still scraped. Okay, so that shows you how triple option, where the fullback can get the ball. It's not just a pull pitch. I know we've had quarterbacks before that when they hear triple, because we run so much zone dive, they hear triple, they think, okay, I'm going to pull and pitch the ball on this thing. No, it can still be a fullback play. Okay, I'm going to get back to the presentation, I believe. And like I say, if you guys got questions or a better way of doing this, I'm all ears. I'm just glad that my screen's being shared and not my face. Okay, triple against a 1 high safety. So it's important, the first thing the quarterback has to do when he comes up is identify whether it is a single high safety, and in a 1 high safety, you better count on that cat being involved in the run game, particularly on the perimeter. If it's a 2 high safety, one of those safeties is going to be a pitch guy. Now, there are 3-2 exchanges, but let's focus on the 1 high safety here. Okay, we are automatically going to load block this, which means our play side halfback is going to mirror the steps of the play side tackle, and he is responsible for blocking for the quarterback in case the quarterback keeps the ball. Because really good defenses squeeze this guy, force you to pull, and that cat is right there right now. Oops, I did it wrong. So like 1 and 2, this guy is the problem on the quarterback, that inside play side Mike backer. Okay, so we got to get a physical. So halfback's a hard position. You got to catch a pass. You got to catch a pitch. You got to have the cojones to block. So that guy's got to come off and squeeze this guy. If the mic is taken or the mic falls in on the fullback, flatten out and try to get a piece of the free.